Well, welcome. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Anyway, reminder of what the rules are here. Everybody knows what the rules are. What do we got here? Some Maturino. That's I don't know. I think that's what it was last time. We need a benefactor to come along. I guess during the playoffs, that's when they always listen. There's the standings. So Elp actually got a win. That's surprising, but I think it needs something short of a miracle to. I mean, can he mathematically even make playoffs at this point? Arguable. Tommy probably looking to shore up top 16, maybe get into top 8 here, and it is the last match of the season for both players. And here they are. I guess we do seeds here, don't we? Alp saying he doesn't even know if he can make it mathematically. Doesn't think so. And I thought he said he doesn't care, but I'm sure he probably doesn't. Let's see what he can do. Yeah, I mean, if he got a win here, he'd probably be happy either way. And Tommy, apparently a much better DAS player than I am, even though he is known for being a tapper and a roller. Which is, you know, Elf's a better DAS player than I am now. Both players are ready, so I think they're ready. Actually, no, Elf's not ready. Elf is now ready. So we'll count it down in the chat. And I'm tripping. Yeah. I think I had like a brief moment of like, I don't know what you would call it, like Tetris dyslexia, because there were so many squares at the start that I like somehow thought they were different pieces, but they were the same. Then I was just seeing like double because there was like so many squares on the screen at the same time. So far, both players haven't really made a mistake. 4 Tetrises for both players with only a couple of buns. Alp actually ahead now, but messes up his board in the process, so I guess that's what you get for greed stacking. Tommy just took the safe buns, didn't mess his stack up, and now is in a better position at the same score. So there you go. Sensible stacking early on for Tommy. And you would expect these games are going to be decided after the transition anyway, being DAS Champions League. But every little bit of an advantage you can get early on is important. It's like it's kind of interesting seeing like DAS hand cams. I don't think DAS hand cams were ever really that much of a thing. Because nobody really wanted to see it. It's like, if somebody's playing DAS, it's evident in how badly they're playing, usually. But I guess these days, you know, people are hitting like level 31 with DAS, you know. It's like, kind of weird. Like, DAS is having having a renaissance now. Tommy with the Stack Rabbit approved T-spin setup there was the right play, at least in my opinion, even though it looked kind of crazy, and it burns out of it without the T. Elp does have the lead now, actually. It's kind of looked messy for the whole game, but somehow the aggression is paying off, and he's got around about a Tetris lead, but it's sort of gone now. So he's having to take these burns, and now he's trailing. So that's how quickly a lead evaporates. And yeah, still quite a way to go transition here. Kind of curious who outbeat, actually. I don't know, because last time I streamed he had no victories. And yeah, I'm not really sure what his games were, but known for getting some upsets, so maybe he got a spicy one there. Does play a lot of higher ranked players, so he won't be intimidated by Tommy. Tommy, yeah, I guess interesting, Tommy playing in more competitions lately. Certainly from the time I remember Tommy, he only really played in Mega Masters, and that was pretty much it. But I guess times have changed. Or maybe DAS Champions League is of that level, you know. This is where it's at right now. This is the only competition that I'm paying any attention to, so I guess this is where it's at now. That's not actually true, but Tommy transitions at 540 and immediately gets another Tetris. Oh, about the transition. Oh no, he lost DAS. Should be okay, but transitions at 527 with the left side not looking too great. Doesn't put the L to the right there, interesting, but he's resolved it. Yeah, kind of an unfortunate time to, because he had a misshift followed by not being confident that he could get the long bar over, I think. I think he probably would have, but he didn't want to risk it, so just going to take some burns here. Allows Tommy to open up a bit of a gap, but Tommy with a sketchy stack right now. Oh, and the square, I think he moved the square further than he intended there, or not far enough. And that's going to require some more burning, but it's looking a little sketchy on Tommy's side here. He needs a long bar soon. He doesn't get, he hangs a piece, and Tommy in all sorts of trouble now. Keeping the hole open for a long bar as long as humanly possible, but finally comes, his middle is stacked up, and Tommy's going to top out at 648, so Elp has a chase down here. Has all the time in the world, really. He just needs to get the board back down. He's also not in a very good position for a DAS player, but certainly manageable. certainly for a Champions League player. 649 is the target here for Elp. And he gets it there with a Tetris, so Elp takes game 1. And I've completely forgotten where the score is. Oh, there it is. There we go, part-time streamer here. Oh, you beat Sofa, wow. I mean, I don't know how much Sofa's been playing recently, but he used to be a very good DAS player. I assume he's probably even better than he was. Oops. What am I doing? I just did a... oh no. Oh no. Oh no. We got a raid from Monthly Tetris. They were doing... I think they were doing a DAS stream over there. And they will be confused at the scoreline, I would say. Coming in here. Arbaro, I guess, was doing the restream that. Or Arbaro, I don't know how to pronounce that. I shouldn't assume. I don't think I've ever said his name out loud before, now that I think about it. It's kind of weird. I guess I never restreamed. But Tommy in a sketchy situation again here. And should be able to get out of it, but the kind of way he's moving the pieces around is not instilling me with confidence right now. Like he's doing a tapbacks with DAS, which I've never seen before. Like is deliberately overshifting because he has time, and then I don't know, it makes me uncomfortable because you lose DAS, right? But then he doesn't care because it's level 18. But he gets out of it, so yeah, finesse, you would call it. But it's usually something you're used to seeing with tappers and rollers because they can move the pieces fast. With DAS, it's a little strange, but it's working. Whatever works. I guess it's better that you get it over than you stop it too early, which is kind of what I do sometimes. If you try to skill stuff and you fail, then you're basically dead. Whereas, yeah, if you finesse, then if you know you have time, then you might as well. Elp, no troubles so far. 197 for Elp, 155 for Tommy. What am I doing? Commentating a Tetris match. Well, there wasn't a restreamer, and I was in a position where I didn't feel like saying no, so I'm doing a restream. I already had the scene set up pretty much. So here I am. And yeah, so Elp is I think almost mathematically dead for making playoffs. For context here, this is the last game of the season for both players. Elp, I think, can tie on points for 24th place, but other players still have games to go, and there's game difference, and like maybe technically he still has a chance, but he probably needs to win and win convincingly, which is what he's doing so far at least, and then rely on results elsewhere. Tommy in a much better position. I think almost guaranteed, or he would be guaranteed a playoffs, and probably trying to position himself either in top 8 or top 16. And Tommy has taken the lead, or did take the lead, and Elp took it back with a Tetris. But Tommy, Tetris ready, longbar engaged, bangarang. Do people still say bangarang? I don't think they do, but I just thought of it, you know. I don't think I've ever said bangarang before. Does Kingsman still say bangarang? I don't know. I'm getting nostalgia. Tommy momentarily covering the well here. Nice setup though. And a little bit of a drought here, I think. So I don't think I've seen a Tetris for a while for both players experiencing the same drought, and they're both keeping it clean, Tetris ready, and a simul Tetris with the same long bar at the same time. You love to see it. So they're at exactly the same place in the P sequence as well. And Elp actually has the lead. A little bit over a Tetris, so it's a good sign for him going into transition. He was trailing in game 1 by around about the same margin. And then Tommy got into trouble. Tommy transitions at 483, Elp at 512, and both players having to take some burns to uncover the well here. Tommy the first to get Tetris ready, but the longbar isn't coming. Clever burn there by Tommy. Very clever burns by Tommy to stay Tetris ready and to, you know, only cover the well when he could open it with the next piece. And he does get a Tetris. Elp's board a little bit more, I don't know, at times concerning for me, but he's making it work. It's definitely like a more aggressive kind of posture to what Elp does, but that also creates more pace when you get long bars, so you would expect good things to happen if we get a lot of long bars. But then perhaps Tommy wouldn't be taking so many burns if we were. And Tommy set up. Oh, we actually had to take the triple there, so I wasn't able to adjust for the long bar. And that is going to cost a few burns, but gets the Tetris to go to 625. Elp at 597. Would like a long bar while he's Tetris ready here. Nice burn. And Elp gets the Tetris to go to 630. So Tommy maintaining it a little bit over a Tetris lead here in the post. And yeah, the long bar timing hasn't really been great for either player, as they are playing with the same pieces. I guess there just hasn't been a lot of long bars so far in post. And Elp will be fuming with that double long bar there when he wasn't Tetris ready. And Tommy getting a little bit further away now, 50,000 points. But as we kind of enter the higher levels, this is when you want to be getting the most Tetrises. And all of a sudden it's raining long bars and Tetrises are coming a lot more easily for both players. I'll actually close the gap here to just over a Tetris, or it might even be a Tetris now with the scaling. Oh, that's going to cost Elp here, having to take these burns this point in time, but still Tommy not really scoring a lot. So Tommy gets a Tetris 856, but he's ahead by 4 lines. So oh, Elp Yeah, he's running out of runway here. I guess the long bars just aren't there, which is why Tommy's also not getting Tetrises. But Tommy goes into kill screen at 893. Elp is going to need at least 2 Tetrises on kill screen. It's not going to happen. So just ran out of runway there. Good game by both players. And yeah, no Andy, no Andy here. So we're not going to see any post, I assume. And Tommy levels it up. 1 game all. Alright, both players, they know the drill. Everybody's well drilled now, you know. It used to take an eternity for players to change the seed and get ready, and like now they just do it automatically. Like you don't even have to ask them, you know, they know what they're incrementing. I feel like it used to take minutes, like when it was first, you know, implemented. Like everybody was, you know, they probably intentionally delayed restarts to some extent, but the players just want to get on with it here, which is good to see. And not a great start here to the seed. Elp in a situation. Guess that long bar left, that was crucial. And still in a survival position. I like the J. Would have liked an L, but didn't get it immediately. And I think he's going to be fine, but having to take some burns early on is not ideal. Tommy was a little safer early on, which allowed him to keep a clean stack, and is now ahead by about 50,000 points. Adjusted for the lines. I don't know. I'm guessing, really. That's guesswork. Because he's only really ahead by, well, less than that, like 20,000 now. But Elp constantly kind of pushing the aggression. It's interesting dynamic, I guess. I don't know if, I guess Elp always plays like this, but like, I don't know if he dials it up or down in comp compared to how he normally plays. Might be, it probably is like more or less the same, but when it's in comp it's more scary than when it's not in comp. And I don't know. Because it's you know, like a constant, it's almost like a kind of PB stacking, but in comp, which is probably what you need to do when you're playing somebody like Tommy. And Elp now at 190, Tommy at 230, so 40,000 point lead for Tommy. And oh, what happened? I just got an eye on Polymarket, and you know, I don't know, anybody in the chat want to talk about that? I don't know. I didn't think anything was going to happen until you know, another hour or two, but there was a big shift on Polymarket, so something's going on. And I don't know, there's not a lot going on here, as we are on level 18. Both players more than capable on level 18. We haven't had a level 18 top out yet. I think the last time, or the last, I think, how many, I think I've streamed like 2 or 3 of these, and every single set had multiple 18 top outs. I think it was more unfortunate than than a skill issue. Sometimes the piece sequences are just not very forgiving, but yeah, both players here have had some problems, but they've gotten out of the situations. Which, yeah, you'd want to see in the Champions League. Yeah, I like the burns from Tommy. It's almost like, I don't know, he's just doing you know, like level 29 stacking with DAS, you know. Or maybe more like 19 stacking, but you know, rollers don't really have to do that kind of thing on 18 at least, unless they're playing up really high, but definitely knows how to do it when he needs to. Alp with a little bit of a sketchy LJ dependency, and doesn't opt to, I don't know if that was a misrotation there by Elp or he was trying to delay transition, or I'm not really sure what happened, but he topped out. And Tommy is good for game number 3. That came out of nowhere. Elp misread the board, okay. Or maybe he thought the next piece would have, was it S or a J, S or a Z, and then it was the opposite. Maybe that's what happened. But yeah, that was definitely unfortunate. Give it a second game here to Tommy. Is a best of 6, so yeah, best of 6 means the next game will not be the final game, in case you're thinking it was a best of 5, but it's not a best of 5, it's a best of 6. Well, what is a best of 6, you ask? Yeah, that's a good question. It is a format that allows for draws to happen, because this is based on the European Champions League in football. So players can draw 3-3 and then they would each receive a point, but if either player gets to 4, they will get 3 points. And then the winning margin only really counts for game difference, which presumably is a minor concern for both players. So they both really just want to win, or at least draw the set. And a mischief there by Alp. He's starting to get frustrated. Would like a long bar here to alleviate the frustration, but of course the game is deciding that now would be a good time to drought him. But there we go. Does get the well back open. Tommy with the early lead as a result of that little dig for Alp, but still relatively minor, 33,000 point lead for Tommy. All right. Pretty uneventful stacking right now, I would say, for both players. Doing what they're supposed to do, getting Tetris ready and scoring Tetrises. I think that's what happens when the seed gives you long bars. And the seed is giving them long bars right now, so nothing to really talk about for the last 20 lines or so. If only it was always like this, you know, if it just stayed like this, every player would just, you know, get a 600k transition every game, right? It won't stay like this though. That's the that's the fun part. Double J dependency for Tommy, and he's been playing a little bit too many puzzles, maybe. I don't know. It had a miss-shift as well in that sequence, but he's just gonna have to burn his way out of this. I don't think there'll be too much to worry about. Just gonna put a dent in the pace. So, you know, saying that with DAS, any sort of misdrop with this board is perilous. So you can never say it's 100% safe, but it's definitely not high on the board. Elp with a left wall, see if he goes crazy, and he doesn't go crazy, so he just takes the triple, transfers it back to the right side. Elp with the lead now, 415, gets a Tetris to go to 438. Tommy digging at 366, and his trouble actually got worse when I looked away to see what Elp was doing. So he's got more burns to do. But yeah, if he gets a long bar here, it'll all go away pretty quickly. It doesn't need another long bar, but yeah, the game kind of playing a little bit here, but there we go. Does get things sorted out. Back to the right side in time for transition. Elp transitions at 531. Tommy at 387. And he will transition with a Tetris at 411, but over 100,000 points behind that transition. Elp with some issues. Does get it back open, but he really wants a piece. And oh, that's unfortunate there. He doesn't reopen the well there with that burn, and Elp's going to top out at 537. So Tommy with the chase down. 538 is the target. Just like Elp in game number 1 had the chase down. We'll see if Tommy is able to do it here in game number 4. I feel like Martin Tyler a little bit, you know, here. It's commentating the Champions League. All my energy is gone, you know. My has-been. I don't know if you guys in Europe even know who Martin Tyler is, to be honest. I think you do. He doesn't get excited anymore. He's just like, he's just old. But I don't know, I find that kind of interesting. It's definitely a talking point whenever he commentates something. Tommy getting into a situation here. Ooh, yeah, I mean, he gets a nice burn there, and the board's no longer in a situation. You know, for Tommy at least. For me, I'd still be sweating a little bit. And a little bit of a weird situation there. Good decision, I think, to block it with the Z piece. So a worse player would have probably avoided blocking the double well thing early there, but Tommy sensed danger coming. He's just playing it safe, lining it out. It's got a couple more lines to go, and there is actually already good. And Tommy takes game number 4. There are... How are there 47 people here? Like, what happened? Are they all in a coma? Like, nobody has said anything in chat since the raid. I think there was there was a bounce at the raid, and everybody's like, nope, not watching this. Somebody said anything. Okay. Welcome, Supermark. First time chatter. Tetris watchers like to lurk, yeah. I mean, you assume they're watching. I don't know if they're watching. I was trying to get a reaction out of them, with the, the election talk, but nobody even wants to talk about that, Nobody wants to talk about anything in chat. I guess if Elp was winning, maybe they'd talk about that. But Elp, they were talking about it when Elp was winning, when they joined, and then they just stopped. Elp stopped winning. Elp's got to win this game. Save the. He's kind of building up a little bit. Tommy with the early lead once again. It's kind of a pattern that we're seeing. Tommy likes to keep a clean stack, and Elp just kind of goes for it, and sometimes it works, and a couple of games gave him the lead, but when it doesn't work, it kind of looks like a bad strategy. I don't know. You could probably do statistical modeling to work out the optimal amount of aggression, and I assume it's not anywhere near as much as Elp is using. But then you can't really adjust for tendencies, I guess. You can present somebody with evidence, and they'll still, they will still insist that they know best. And that it was really worth it to save that one burn. Anyway. I think it's definitely different for comp and for EB chasing, obviously. Tommy at 229, 179, so 50,000 point lead for Tommy. And getting a little high on the left there, but gets the pieces over, so no issue. But I mean, it's the kind of board that, a DAS player does start to get a little bit worried, because if you randomly hang an S or a Z, then your burns are kind of gone after, if you get a long bar drought and you hang a piece on the left, then there's not much you can do. But most of the time you get a long bar anyway, so it doesn't actually matter. You can afford to take some risks. Elp with a little tuck setup. Guess the square. Now opts against creating the line dependency, and you know what the game's like actually better. It's the next piece. You could have just done it, and now Now as a result, he has a Spire in the middle of the board, he gets Z-bursted, and another, what's he going to do with this? He's forced to set up a tuck, and then he's forced to have another tuck, and now he's forced to... Like, the game is just toying with Elp right now. Like, all stemmed from not setting up a line dependency, which, you know, like, was actually a sane decision, but, you know... I guess there is an argument whether there was time to make the adjustment, though. For the, I mean, there probably was, but it is still DAS, so it's arguable. And that does get it clean again. On the left side, trying to go for a transfer here, maybe with that long bar placement. I don't know. I don't know about that. Very aggressive and isn't going to pay off. Well, I mean... is transferring to a right well, but it's a right well on row 3. And transition's coming, so it's going to burn this down back to the right side. And 327. Tommy has been clean this whole time, which is why I haven't really been talking about him. So Tommy at 484 with a... probably the biggest lead we've seen on the stream so far. There was a pretty big lead in, I think it was game 3, but this one is a little bit bigger than that. 160, 150 something, somewhere around there. 155, we'll call it, 1,000-point lead. Well, it's now more than that, but it's constantly changing. And both layers with a good stack and good pieces. Nice S flat there by Elp to get Tetris ready. Thanks down the Tetris. Tommy with some delayed burns, and oh my god, that T-burn! I didn't even see that. What the that was crazy, because I think he only did it because the and Elp tops out at 456 and Tommy is good. 4 games to 1, so GG's to Tommy, and good luck in the playoffs, and good luck to Elp making it back into the Champions League next season. I don't know what the qualifying is going to be, but I guess we'll see. And I don't know what we do. What can we do here? We just end the stream. I guess we gotta raid somebody, right? Because we have like 40 passive viewers here. What is that? Tetris Wars? We'll go Tetris Wars. Or CTL, should we raid it? No, I'll go Tetris Wars because that'll probably be going for longer. And thank you guys for watching.